The reality is that in most European countries, there are many political parties. People want to have what they call over there freedom of political choice, sort of like what Americans say about wanting freedom of choice. But there seems to be a lapse because you don't have freedom of choice if you have only two parties, especially when they look as similar as most of the time in most of the places they do. Is it reasonable, based on your experience as a Green Party activist, is it reasonable to refer to the two major parties in this country as operating a monopoly in the political life?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. It's not just reasonable, it's obvious to say that the Democrats and Republicans operate a two-party monopoly cartel. And the way that they are able to exercise control over that cartel is by passing legislation that ensures that alternative parties and independent candidates who are running for office are unable to fairly compete. And if you have a party like the Green Party that is just enjoying too much success, then the Democrats and Republicans pass laws to change the rules of elections to try and set us back to square one. And I think it's important to point out, though, that for many voters, especially in a state like New York, it's not even a two-party monopoly because many of us live in what are functionally single-party districts at our city council district, our county legislature, state legislature district, congressional district, because of the way that the districts are drawn and the way that one duopoly party will abandon territory to the other. It's functionally a one-party district. And so many times when a Green Party candidate runs for office, they're the second candidate in the race. They're not the so-called third-party candidate in the campaign.
Gloria, why do Americans tolerate the situation Michael just so nicely summarized?
Well, it's the politics of fear, plain and simple. You know, our political culture rests on the pillars of the corporate media and corporate politicians, and they're invested in keeping it that way, and they're relentlessly self-serving. You know, so while public opinion polls really show everyday people are leaving the two parties of war on Wall Street in droves, they're desperately asking for more parties to choose from, you know, more than ever. They've been told over and over that this is the only alternative, it's the only way to do it. There's no other way to vote, as opposed to, you know, that's what we do in this country. You know, so people, for the most part, don't even know about voting methods like ranked choice voting, proportional representation, and, you know, that would facilitate multi-party democracy, which we advocate for. And the media, right, barely understands, much less reports, the kind of legal shenanigans that the Democrats have used to push the Green Party of New York off the ballot. So when everyday people use their vote to say, yes, I want more parties to choose from, I want a party that actually reflects my values, the Democrats in this case responded by saying, okay, we'll just move the goalpost to try and shut you up. And then when regular folks try to challenge the status quo, and they are told that they're naive, they're crazy, when alternative candidates want to run for office, they're spoiling the election if people vote for them, and they're betraying their community.
You know, it always strikes me as remarkable, especially these days when we are told the Republicans and Democrats can't get together on anything. You're explaining to us that that's wrong. They get together perfectly well on squelching anyone who threatens this two-party monopoly. Okay, let me move on.
Our elections have been designed to disenfranchise as many voters as possible. And the voters know this. And that instills a sense of desperation or even nihilism that someone like Donald Trump or another right-wing Republican nightmare can exploit. And so while the Democrats use the politics of fear and the threat of the spoiler to hold their voters hostage, they're actually setting the conditions for the next Trump or whoever comes after Trump who's even worse, because they're not offering an agenda that directly addresses the crises we face, crises like racism and escalating economic inequality and the climate crisis. They're not addressing those head on. And in fact, they're silencing solutions that groups like the Green Party and others are advancing. And so if we want to see systemic transformations like Medicare for all, or housing as a human right, or worker co-ops as part of a eco-socialist Green New Deal, then we have to dismantle this two-party cartel because it is producing the conditions for political nightmares like Donald Trump